so long. They are starting to on that one. He has got to knock those down.
Wade on the wing. The three ball.
And he's having quite the quarter converting.
Now, here's Moutier. He's guarded by Dragic. Here's Harris. Loses.
Establishing a presence inside early.
And watch, Clark, how the game plays out.
The fast break. Gallinari with the ball. And there's the basket. Whistle blows and a chance for a three-point play. Going to the line for one.
Just a great job of attacking on the break.
Yeah, you get like that, Greg. Just as soon as that ball was going the other way, that's exactly how you want to do it.
Both teams deciding to change it up. The Nuggets shooting their first free throw of the night here.
And they shot their free throws at a measly 73% clip over the course of last season.
And, you know, there was plenty of blame to go around for that. I mean, it wasn't just one or two guys. I mean, for the most part, the entire team struggled.
Richardson kicks to Winslow. Lets the three fly. One up, one down. 2 points with his first shot this game.
How about the passing? They are moving the ball without any thought, without any individual agendas.
Yeah, and it's really fun to see that kind of unselfishness. Really hard not to appreciate all the assists they've racked up.
Laverne and Stoudemire pulls it down. Winslow kicks to Richardson. Off with the layup.
You know, he can be a little hesitant near the rim. We saw it there. If the defense offers just a little bit of resistance, he doesn't take it up quite strong enough.
The Nuggets missed the postseason again last year. Never really had a good look at it and just fell in back of the pack.
And it's the second straight year of not playing playoff basketball in Denver. This coming on the heels of 10 straight bursts between 04 and 13.
Winslow, the pass to Johnson. It's stolen by Moutier. Inside. Barton, no luck.
And, you know, for Denver, historically, they've enjoyed a lot of success for a long time. I mean, missing the playoffs consecutively might have been the wake-up call they needed to try something different going forward. The one-hand slam is so sweet when it's his hand doing the slam.
Oh, yeah, he is so smooth, even on a power finish like that.
And really, that's what makes him unique, that combination of power and polish.
DJ Augustine's checked in for Moutier. Nuggets have gone just a shade under 50% from the field. 5 of 11.
And listen, it's sometimes really hard for teams like the Nuggets to know when to rebuild. So while they weren't quite sure what they had coming in the last season, by the end of it, they had a clear idea of what direction they needed to head into for the future.
Richardson kicks to Dragic. It's stolen by Arthur. 4-on-3 break. And there's Augustine. That's good on the assist by Chandler.
That almost feels like 2 buckets coming off the steal like it did.
And especially the fact that it now ties the game. The lead was about to be stretched out, and instead, it's back even. And another lead change here. How many of these are we going to have tonight?
I'm not quite sure, but I'm willing to bet it'll be more than a few.
Now here's Chandler. No scoring yet from him, but that's likely to change. Wide open, couldn't capitalize.
The defense there got away with a major lapse.
And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact, and he'll shoot 2. The Heat shooting their initial free throws of the game right here. That's good from Winslow. The Heat making a switch here. Off on that one, so he goes 1 for 2 at the line. From deep three-point range. The offense coming free and easy as we wrap up the first quarter. And now a chance to hear from Chris Bosh about what it meant to him to become.
Just like.
What a great cut from Chris Bosh. That's the kind of guy you can't help, Greg, but love for his attitude and ability to be, you know, in touch with that kid he once was. I know you.
Of the guys in the league feel that same way. I mean, they may not be able to say it or articulate it as smoothly as Chris does,
sure.
but inside every NBA player is a kid who's still thrilled to wear the uniform and play the game they love.
All right, the second quarter beginning in just a moment. And a moment here to take a look at the scoring breakdown for Miami.
Guys, they are dialed in from beyond right now. They didn't waste any time getting into a groove in this game.
The other thing they've had going for them tonight is their passing. I mean, doing a nice job. Plenty of their points early on coming off assists.
They've got Harris. Nurkic is out there with Gallinari. Then there's DJ Augustine. And it's Sampson in at the 3 spot. That's the group on the floor for Denver.
And it was a very public falling out between Goran Dragic and the Suns front office. That was a real tense few weeks there before ultimately he was traded.
And, of course, Dragic was traded to Miami last season. Said he felt betrayed by the Suns front office, which spurred him wanting out of Phoenix and to South Florida.
Yeah, you know what? We'll never know the whole truth about that situation, but Dragic said they told him one thing with personnel and did something else.
And the Nuggets making a change here. Moutier is checked in. Shot is good, and the Heat's lead is cut down to just 1 on the bucket from Gallinari. Miami's gone 4-6 from outside the arc tonight. Whiteside, good.
Pretty passing. Timely recognition as to where the open man was.
Now here's Moutier. Defense is right there. And he converts the layup. Moutier's got 9. We play just over a minute of basketball here in the second quarter. Wade from outside. Can't hit. And the Nuggets going the other way. Here's Moutier. He's got 9. Gallinari passes to Sampson. He dishes it to Moutier. Drains it from beyond the arc. Moutier's got 5 points now this quarter. Several lead changes going on here in the early portion of this game.
Yeah, but neither team really able to jump ahead.
It reminds me of that cameo song, Back and Forth.
Pass to Bosch. Gallinari with the steal. And now Harris running the floor all by himself. And a breakdown here, guys. The hustle stats for the Nuggets.
Boy, they've really amped up the pressure at the defensive end, guys, and have piled up the steals in the early going.
And also defensively, they've been able to cause some turnovers tonight, and that also builds confidence and gives you momentum.
Excellent ball movement there, guys.
And that's key to this run. Passing it with purpose, the D hasn't been able to keep up.
Passed away. To the paint. Here's Whiteside. That falls. Nice speed that time from Dwayne Wade. Whiteside's got his second bucket of the night. Now here's Moutier. He's guarded by Dragic. Moutier with the basket. Moutier's got the lead up to 6 now for the Nuggets.
Every time they get scored on during this run, it's come from inside the paint.
Yeah, they have really owned the interior. You've got to collapse that defense and force them to beat you over the top.
Down low. He made that one. Basket number 3 for him. He's also missed 2.
And now we can see them really working it inside.
Yeah, Clark, quality looks at the rim. That's fueling this run.
Well, Greg, after a run of 10 playoff trips in 11 years, the Miami Heat missing the postseason last year, they'd end up a game back of the 8th spot.
Yeah, and what's hard for the Heat, Kevin, is that they were in the playoff picture for most of the year. And as the season wore on, they slowly fell out of that top 8.
There's the pick. Shot clock at 5. Gallinari. He hangs in there and cashes in on the second chance points. Gallinari's got 6 points in the quarter.
Some defensive breakdowns are starting to show up now. Their last 4 buckets allowed have come from very close range.
Yeah, high percentage shots are what they are getting in terms of the attempts, and that's just not going to get it done. They've got to figure it out.
You know, guys, for the greater part of last season, it appeared as though the Heat were playoff bound. Even with the players they lost, most figured they would be playing postseason basketball.
Laverne, he's checked in for Denver. Kenneth Faried comes in for Jakar Sampson. And Miami also making a switch. Joe Johnson, he's checked in for Whiteside. Gallinari dishes to Faried. And the ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by Faried. A different look for Denver. Wilson Chandler's checked in for Gallinari. Martin comes in for Gary Harris. And DJ Augustine subbed in for Moutier. The Heat also with a sub. Johnson's checked in. Bosch misses.
And one reason why the Heat did come up short in their playoff aspirations, they were very poor against other teams in the playoffs. So only went 15-31 against teams that had made it into the postseason last year.
Johnson, a wide open look. That's in, coming off an assist from Johnson. Johnson's got himself going there. His first points of the game on the deep ball. Doubled by Bosch. On the wing, Chandler. We've got 1:18 left to play here in the half. They set the pick. Here's Augustine. Loses his man off the screen and lays it up and in. And the Nuggets lead by 7.
You know, it looks like they've recalibrated their approach away from trying the three ball.
Yeah, they started out a little slow from out there, trying something different now. And despite the hot start from beyond, they've gotten away from shooting the triple.
And trailing in this game now is not the time to start playing conservatively. I mean, if you've got an open look from deep, let it go. I mean, you've got to play freely and with confidence. Well, the effort was there, but he just couldn't quite fight his way through traffic.
Now Bosch. He's had some playing time, but no scoring yet from him.
Usually, if he gets to the rim, he's converting it into points. But the defense stood tall there.
Here's Fareed. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here. The Nuggets shooting their 4th and 5th attempts at the free throw line tonight. Fareed. That's good from Fareed. And the Nuggets making a change here. Both free throws good from Fareed.
You know, they've changed their game here in the second. Getting a little bit more physical, playing with some toughness now.
And I'm looking for them to increase that lead if they can keep getting to the free throw line.
Here's Wade. Will not go. This is off the front iron. And Augustine kicks to Barton. On the wing, Chandler. And he can't extend the lead to double digits. And that does it for the first half of play.
Thank you, Kevin. Here.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Ernie Johnson here again with Kenny Smith and Shaquille. A pretty close game for the Nuggets throughout the first quarter. They only had a couple rough stretches, and as the first period came to a close, they had a 4-point deficit. They were a finely tuned unit in the second quarter. And now, folks, it's just about time for the third quarter.
The second half just about to get going here. We're seeing a tremendous game here from Emmanuel Mudiay.
Yeah, he was in attack mode from the word go. Came out very aggressively in that first half.
Take a look at his shot chart. It looks like the ink spilled right at the rim. No reason for him to settle for anything less.
Here's who Eric Spoelstra is starting the second half with. Wade and Dang are the 2 and 3. The big men are Bosch and Whiteside, and it's Dragic in at the point. And Miami calls their first time out of the game.
Yeah, enough scoring on the inside there. I think it's time for him to send a message to his team.
Yeah, you're exactly right. I guarantee you this talk centers around cutting down on all of those points coming in the paint. They've got to show more resistance there.
And the Heat going with the whole new group on the floor. The Heat trail by 9. Well, you look back at the 2015 Heat, and the injuries are what probably brought that team down. We can go from Chris Bosh with the debilitating blood clot on his lung and on and on and on. The loss, of course, which was not an injury, of LeBron James. There are a lot of moving parts with that team.
And that's a great point, Kevin. If you take any star off a team, things are going to get the Heat still managed to stay competitive once Bosh went out.
In the corner, it's Harris. Three-pointer. Good for the 5th time in 5 shots. He remains perfect.
And they've got to talk to each other on D there. Miscommunication, and now he's able to make them pay.
And And Moutier slams it in.
And that's how you make a steal count. Turn it into a quick slam at the other end.
It was really a case, it looked like Greg Anthony right there, but if I can say so. It was really a case of a great defensive play triggering some instant offense.
Yeah, I remember GA as an irritant, and this guy, much like Greg, creating havoc out there.
And that replay sponsored by Kia, the Kia Slam Cam, giving us a great look at that one. And we've seen it all, guys. The Nuggets have been in free fall the last couple years. Part of that is their play at home, where GA, they used to be invincible.
If you remember back in the day, Kevin, I mean, one of the most difficult places to play was in Denver. I mean, you're dealing with the thin air, but that hasn't been the case here of late.
George Karl just prided his team on what they did at home. Dwayne Wade's checked in for Winslow. Fareed puts up the baby hook, and the basket good. A bank shot that time. And the Nuggets lead by 11.
You've got to give them a lot of credit for the job they've done on the backboard.
They've done a lot of things well today, but really it's about what they've done on the backboard that's at the top of that list.
You know, Denver ended with a 19-22 record at home last season, and that's a far cry from when the Nuggets would typically win 30 or more games at home.
Pass to Gallinari. Here's Jokic. Banked in off the glass.
And you'd have to go all the way back to their dreadful 2003 campaign to find the last time the Nuggets went below 500 at home. Very strange to see them be just mediocre in this building last season.
Laverne, he's checked in for the Nuggets. Arthur comes in for Fareed. Unable to get the ball in bounds. They get called for the 5-second violation. The Nuggets leading by 13. Harris kicks to Moutier. Good once again. That makes him 8 for 9 this game.
Guys, his consistency in terms of shooting has really helped them seize control.
And there's Richardson. That's good on the assist by Wade. Richardson's got 10 points in the game.
You know, if you're only looking at the way he's played offensively, you think his team would have the lead.
Here's Laverne. Lead pass was put in just the right spot.
That's the third bucket in a row from the paint. This defense needs to clog those lanes in the middle much more effectively.
You just cannot allow the offense to have that quality of a look each and every possession.
And the layup is good after a nice lead pass. Laverne's got his second basket of the night.
I think they need to get much more disruptive defensively. They can't just keep allowing these easy baskets.
They can't guard us on the perimeter. Spread the floor and isolate up top. Spacing, fellas. Spacing.
Call time here. Well, perhaps one of the most intriguing draft picks of this past summer, Emmanuel Moutier, can be a game-changing player. Was going to play, Clark, as you recall, at SMU for Larry Brown.
He sure was, and went overseas instead. So we don't know a ton about him other than his reputation is sterling. Now we'll see if he can live up to it.
Udonis Haslem checked in for the Nuggets. Then for the Heat, Udonis Haslem. He's checked in for Wade. Tyler Johnson comes in for Green, and it's Johnson in for Richardson.
And how about Moutier, guys? He has a very interesting upbringing. Born in the Congo, grew up in Texas, then spent last season in China. Already a very well-traveled young man for a player of his age.
And it's good. Moutier's got 6 here in the first quarter.
Sound offensively.